What is up, you guys? It is Tuesday, May 6th-ish. I forget the date, but it doesn't matter because I'm here with two of my TopShot homies. I've got Banana Banking Mac all the way from the Great White North, the floaty queen, the giveaway queen. She's got an all-day shirt on. She was scooping up all-day moments today, I think I saw on the timeline. Maybe it was yesterday. I don't know.
Keep that on the low.
Third time guest, one of my favorite Twitter follows, the man, the myth, the Cavs fanatic from the West Coast.
Now I am. Yep. Now I'm in LA.
Yes, sir. Matt Roth, thank you so much for joining us, my friend.
Hey, thank you for having me. Third time's a charm. Appreciate it. Appreciate you guys keeping the dream alive.
Hell yeah, man. Last summer, it's funny. I've never been on, I don't think we've been on a show together.
I don't think so either.
Last summer, you were talking, I remember so vividly, I was mowing my lawn, listening to the episode that you were on. I think it may have been fall. It was hot out. I was mowing my lawn. And you were talking about the Luka bubble moment, the S1 Luka bubble moment. Do you remember this conversation?
Yeah, for sure. Great moment.
As I listened to you talk about it, I was like, he's right. That moment is a must own. I went and I really watched it and I bought it and I locked it. And of course I still have it. But I was reading the Luka, the Wonder Boy, the new book on Luka. And it was cool because in the book, Tim McMahon from ESPN wrote it. Super good book. Highly recommended for anyone that likes basketball. But he breaks down that series in great detail. And that shot, I mean, I was listening on Audible, but I feel like that shot took 3 to 5 minutes of book time to break down. And I was just and it's on TopShot. It was pretty cool.
McMahon's great, isn't he? Tim McMahon, he's good.
He's awesome. He's awesome. So I appreciate that you're always, you're like the S1 guy.
Yeah, it didn't really start that way. I just think a lot of those moments are cool. We've gone over it before. If people are going to remember anything, it's going to be the actual Disney bubble, along with some of the games after that. You know, with the empty arenas, you'll have a couple police officers with face masks on. Those are real collectibles in my eyes, which is kind of a segue. I was just thinking about you, Coultin, because I was watching the SGA Series 2 15K, and it's a game winner. And I think it was just last episode when you guys had Alxo on, you were talking about how for the wins those are obviously the best cards because, hey, they're game winners. Do you remember that conversation?
Yeah, definitely.
So the reason I was thinking of you is because you and I have kind of gone back and forth before about commons and fillers. And I'm like, hey, stop making this trash, these 20Ks, these 40Ks, whatever, these 8Ks. And you're like, hey, buddy, they have to have some fillers. What do you want them to do? That's how cards work. What's my point? My point is even some of their fillers are sick cards, like the SGA. So it's not just that's a 15K. Who cares? Stick it in your bike spokes. No, that's a cool ass card from when you hit a game winner in the not actual Disney bubble, but in the bubble time period when there weren't any fans. And there's a bunch of examples like that. I think Tatum's 40K. So again, someone would just say, dude, stop talking about 40Ks already. Buy yourself an ultimate or whatever. Okay, that Tatum 40K is nasty. It was his 60-point game, which was a franchise record. So again, it's not, it doesn't correlate perfectly. It's not if it's a 40K, it's just a layup from the second quarter, right? That doesn't matter from December. No, some of those cards are really meaningful. I could keep going. I won't. Maybe a couple more. So the Vince Carter Series 1, we all know that's a game winner, the last shot before the bubble. Another one you can't just say that's a common. You know what I mean? Yep. Mike Muscala, people are going to laugh at that one. Like, well, who the hell, Mike Muscala, what are we talking about here? We're talking about game winners, and his 60K, it's cool. It's a game winner, right?
Yeah.
So it's not as easy as saying like, well, that's dust. They all have to have some dust. It's like, excuse me, a 60-pointer from Tatum, his 40K, SGA, game winner, and of course we could list probably, 20 to 30 more. So I was wondering what you thought about that, what your counter to that was.
No, I love that. And that's such a good point. You're right. I was on X the other day talking to somebody too about, I don't remember how it got brought up, but I said, when I buy a pack of basketball cards or baseball, most of the time they just go in the garbage. Like, I open them and I thumb through them. I'm like, okay, no parallels, no inserts, just junk, throw it away. And I think there's a lot of collectors on TopShot that maybe forget about that aspect of, like, I don't know. I think I make the mistake of comparing the two too much, because I'm obsessed with cardboard collectibles too.
Well, and because we're left with, sorry to interrupt, but you're left with not many other options. What are you going to compare it to?
Yeah.
Pianos,
right.
lacrosse sticks, you know what I mean? So please continue.
Yeah, thank you. And so the only comp are basketball cards that, a Colin Sexton layup, normal card, not a parallel. But I love that you just pointed that out, because that's exactly why I love TopShot, is because they are able to tell a story that cardboard isn't. And so far, the curation team for TopShot has done a great job. I think sometimes the descriptions on the moments get too wordy, but
for sure,
the moments themselves. I mean, is it Dame that has the game winner with the Lexus in the background? I think.
That's sick.
Yeah,
yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah,
I think that's a 35K.
There's also his Series 1. Sorry to interrupt one more time. His Series 1 out of 1,500. I think he had 60 that game. So I just mentioned Tatum's 40K where he had 60. I think Dame had 60 in that 1,500.
Yes. So you can't get that with cardboard at all. I mean, if you know the background of the photo, sure, but it's totally different. And I thought you were about to spit knowledge, Nicole.
I was about to. I just didn't want to cut you off there, but I think the reason the commons on TopShot get like just shit on is because you see the price in front of your face daily. When you pull junk in a physical pack, you know it's junk. You don't go to eBay and go, oh, they're valuing it at 75 cents. No, you did exactly what you said, Coultin. You toss in the trash. But because people see that it's one of the latest dropped moments and it's at the floor of $1, people shit on it without watching it. And the thumbnails this year are absolutely phenomenal. From common to ultimate tier. Like, they're beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. And on that note, so people will also say that commons shouldn't have any bearing on the price of an ultimate or a legendary. And they're right in theory, but in practice, they're wrong, because TopShot is different. Like you said, you see the prices, meaning that if I think in that Trae Young card, I could have mentioned, I didn't 5 minutes ago when I said some commons are sick. Maybe I did mention it. The Trae Young Series 2 35K. It says Kobe tribute. After Kobe passed, Trae hits a shot, points at the shot clock with 2-4 on it, throws up the deuce 4. It's a sick moment. I might want to buy 150 of those instead of Trae's legendary, because I've convinced myself, oh my God, this moment one day is going to be worth a fortune. Or Kobe was my favorite player ever. Maybe Trae's my favorite. Maybe I just love the moment. Maybe my uncle was in the stands.
Yeah.
Like, again, it comes back to, no, they do affect the other prices of the other moments. So like dilution is dilution kind of, even though in theory everyone's right, because in cardboard that is the case, because they're just throwaways or whatever. Like Nicole said, like you're not really going on eBay to buy or even list your trash cards, right? You just kind of throw them to the side like the breakers do on YouTube. So yeah, they do kind of affect the prices of the higher tier cards.
And at the end of the day, like, we control the market and we floor the market. Unfortunately, people undervalue. I'm going to use Josh Hart just had his first legendary dropped. challenge reward out of 50. The floor this morning, a day after release, is like $199. You paid more to complete the challenge if you bought them all off the marketplace. Why is the floor $199? And why was Austin Reeves more expensive at a higher mint count?
Yeah.
Like, I look at that and I'm like, someone just floored it and they dropped the value completely, and it screws kind of every collector. But that's part of the market. Like, I know you can't complain about it, but we are part of the problem.
Yeah,
you're right. But in the same vein, if the moments or if that specific card were in collectors' eyes super cool or valuable, like the one person that dropped the price would just be seen as like a fish, which is like a poker term for a bad player. Meaning if everyone wants it, they're just going to bring the price back up. Just because some guy sells his Bitcoin, maybe by mistake because he misclicks or because he's an idiot, for less than the price, well, that doesn't matter. People are still going to pay the price of Bitcoin. It's going to reset. Obviously, kind of an apples and oranges comparison there, but you see where I'm going with this, right? Yeah. But no, you're right. I don't understand why they do that either for the challenges, especially. I never understand that. Why would you spend more to complete the challenge and just floor it? Unless, I don't know, they were just looking for any sort of liquidity. If that were the case, they could have probably sold the moments they used for the challenge.
Like, if you pulled them all in packs, I guess maybe, but how many packs did you rip and how much money did you spend? And I'm still going to guess you're losing money selling it. Like,
I don't do that, which is not the smartest thing. I won't sell top shots for losses. Again, that is not financial advice. That sounds like a very foolish thing to say. But I think I've had, and this is going to be crazy, I think I've had maybe 6,500 sales. That's a lot of sales. So if anybody's wondering, why am I listening to this guy? Well, I've traded over 6,500 singles, more than that, since I still have about 4,000. And if I've sold 6,500, I've traded a lot of singles on TopShot. My point being, I don't sell them for a loss. Out of those 6,500 sales, maybe 40 were for a loss, a small realized loss.
Wow.
If we go back in time, of course, I would have not executed the same strategy, and I would have sold them instead of holding all the way down. But nonetheless, I did that. I don't sell for less than I paid, especially not for a challenge.
No. And I'm making a profit. I'm in that floaty fast break league, and you have to buy a moment every day. So sometimes I buy the moment that's on the floor at 30 cents and I list it for 32 cents. So I make a penny off of it while Floaty takes their penny, which might seem a little ridiculous, but pennies add up, guys.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not taking a loss.
I guess, yeah.
I'm not breaking even. Nowhere.
I think a lot of people on TopShot are, and myself included, I don't like to floor moments, but we're all so short. Like, we all have short attention spans. We all want what's coming out tomorrow. Oh shit, Brunson has a new rare. I burned 2 rares today to get one of his playoff rares because I was like, well, maybe I'll hit a better serial. A lot of people hit the serial, try to play the serial lottery where they're gambling. It's just another way to gamble, I guess.
It's fun though. I get it.
Yeah. And honestly, I wanted the Bruns. I didn't care. There were 2. I had the video game numbers rare, decided I'm not going for that set. And then, so I bought another rare off the floor. And I was thinking, I haven't seen how these are going to look yet. As far as like the playoff rares, because we don't have the video added to them yet. I thought, what the hell? They might be really cool. That shot was insane. Even though I was kind of rooting for the Pistons, it was badass. And who doesn't like Brunson? Yeah. Anyways.
Do you think they have a chance against the Celtics?
No.
Do you know what the series price is? I was just looking at it, meaning what their odds are to win the series. Take a guess what the Knicks' odds are to win that series.
I bet they're terrible. Are they
Nicole,
terrible?
take a guess.
I have no idea.
They're 5-1 underdogs, more than that, 5.5-1. So if you bet $100 on the Knicks and they win the series, you get $550 back.
Shout out Glenn. I bet he'll be making a bet.
Yeah, big underdogs. And then you have the Pacers are 4-1 dogs against the Cavs. Go Cavs. That's my squad.
Yeah.
Do you like anybody tonight? You have Houston at the Chase Center and Golden State getting 5 points, 5-point underdogs, game 6.
Who's getting the 5? Golden State's
Houston is.
underdog?
It's in Golden
yeah.
State.
Yeah. Dude, I can't decide. And by the time this comes out, everyone will be like, you idiots, it already happened.
Oh,
and
yeah, that's true.
You guys look like clowns. But Steph could go off for 39 with efficient numbers, and they win by 12, and that wouldn't be surprising. Or Steph could be out of gas.
Nicole?
I want to see Houston.
I want them to win, too.
They're just young. Like, we've seen Steph how many times? I'm down for a new face.
Here's the thing, Nicole. As a Draymond hater to another, there's a silver lining if Golden State wins, and it's that Rudy Gobert, who doesn't really have a problem with Draymond, but Draymond has a huge problem with Rudy Gobert.
Yeah.
We will get to see that matchup, and I would bet anybody that Minnesota beats Golden State.
I mean, there could actually be like beatings going down because we know Draymond. Yeah. This could be a violent.
His debut just pumped. Draymond's. His Series 1 debut, it just moved to like $40-$45 now.
$45 too many.
Yeah, it's cool. It's just doubled, nearly tripled.
The rebound requirement for today. Fast break.
Fast break's going to carry those debuts. You better believe it, because we're going to have all of next year with debuts as requirements.
Already are. Yeah. The amount of like the price that's jumped on those cheap debuts that were like $3 and $4 is crazy.
Yeah.
Well, what's crazy, Nicole? They haven't jumped that much, the $3 and $4.
I mean, some of them have like doubled, which I mean, I guess it's not crazy, but it's crazy nice to see my Coutlin green, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
No, yeah, I certainly know. I've built stacks of those Series 1, and I've flipped a bunch along the way. It's kind of like a video game for me, just like the dopamine I get from getting an email that says your moment sold, right?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, cool. I'll play this game again. Like I have 15 of those Devin Booker Series 1 game-winning turnarounds. I think that's a game winner. That's a real bubble game winner right there. That's a cool-ass moment. Those got so cheap, down to like $2-3. People really do floor their cards, back to we were just talking about 10 minutes ago, especially accounts that like want out. I won't say the person's name because I probably wouldn't want them to say my name on a podcast if I was like liquidating my account. Maybe I needed the money and was going through some stuff and wouldn't want people saying it. But there is an account that has 40,000 moments that every day I see is just going down and accepting every offer. I've probably purchased, 50 Series 1 from him in the past week.
Wow.
I'll even just like send him bids and target certain moments, and he'll like snap accept because, hey, he wants out. Which is fine. But some of the moments have done well. You're right, Nicole. Some of them have done well this year, those Series 1s.
Like
Maybe they did reach a bottom finally.
Jalen Brunson's a great example. He was $9-10 last summer. And what was
That's
he?
a terrible example. Banana Mac. That thing's like $15 now.
Oh, shit. He was higher when I looked last time.
I thought it was like
it was
20.
19 last time I looked.
Yeah.
It did. It pumped a little bit, but then he got hurt. But I don't know I think it's back to like 15 now, but yeah.
I sold my Tyler Hero. That one's a better one. I think I bought that at 12 and I sold it at like 24.
That one. Yes, his debut like tripled off of the summer. James, you're right. And the James Harden debut has been holding around 50 or 60 for a while now. So Floaty's a great place. I know you're the Floaty queen, or just doing what like the greatest pirate hunter does, which is like send out tons of stink bids, meaning they stink, they're so bad, but people will accept them, right? And then he'll do well when TopShot runs the buybacks. Shout out to them, right?
Yeah.
I've given them hell at times, but it's really cool that they buy back. I think on this show, I went on some rant, maybe my first time, about why Rohan doesn't just buy like $20K worth of cards on a Thursday night when his like feet are kicked up watching TNT hoops.
Yeah.
Okay, well, they've been doing that. Right before we started this show, I was just looking at the latest sales. They were doing it again. They just bought a Vince Carter for $2,000. Like, that shows they care. It's really cool they do that. Yeah. And people will say, well, they're putting them back in packs. I don't care. They can do whatever they want with them. If they want to burn them, awesome. That would be like icing on the cake. But just the fact that they're buying those moments back seemed like a dream a year ago. I would say, oh, they should do buybacks. And people like, buybacks? Like, what? And also burning, although it's been around for a while now, did seem like a dream as well. So they have started, doing some things for collectors. And those buybacks, they knock down the sell walls a little bit. When you have the moments that'll be $17, $18, $19, all listed right there. It helps when TopShot goes in and chops that down a little bit. So shout out to them. It shows they care, and we appreciate it. I appreciate it. I know some people have counterpoints to it. Oh, it pumps certain moment prices. Stop it. Let's give them credit where credit's due.
Yeah,
well, it's the same with the buyback packs, right? Like you get a free roll pretty much on a $14 pack.
Yeah.
You gamble it, you see what happens. And I mean, I was a hater. I said it on this podcast. I was not a fan of the concept when it first came out because I felt like we were feeding the people who get a junk pack. Like it was like to make them feel better that they didn't pull something good. I had a whole moment. But now that I've actually done it, I'm like, this is good for our economy. Let people do it. They decide to keep a pack or not.
Wait, why didn't you like it at first again? What didn't you like about it?
I felt like if you went and bought a physical pack at Walmart and you rip it, you can't take it back and throw it on the counter and be like, this is garbage. Give me my money back. Like, I feel like when you rip a pack, you take a gamble.
But that's cool that TopShot does that then, that physical doesn't, right?
Yeah, I was a hater at first. I've changed my tune. I'm kind of into this now. But at first, I was like,
you just want buyers to be accountable for their decisions.
Yeah, you gambled, but and now I look at it and I'm like, it's smarter on their end. It works.
Yeah. I mean, you weren't wrong, but it's cool. They bought some moments off of me the other day. I mean, I had moments listed and I was like, I could accept offers on these, but I don't want to. They're worth more than that to me. And then before I was like, oh, thanks, TopShot buyback.
Yeah.
I'll go buy some of these $14 packs, which is what I did.
That's what I'm talking about. Thanks, TopShot buyback. It creates like a positive social cycle instead of everyone being like, I'm down money. This place sucks. It's like, oh, TopShot's kind of cool. They're buying back moments. Hey, thanks, TopShot. Positive engagement. It's what they need.
It also encourages people to list on TopShot. Like it's kind of a way to keep people on there opposed to floaty.
Yeah.
Because I list on both marketplaces, but I have missed out before because I only list on floaty. So now I make sure my moment's on TopShot in case buyback comes through a moment I'm selling. And I think that's smart.
And it incentivizes people to maybe buy and play the game of I'll buy this rare for the low ask and then list it because TopShot might buy it back from me, right?
Yeah.
So again, it just creates like this positive cycle of momentum. So shout out to them for doing exactly what many of us were asking for. I was screaming about it. I wish they did it a while ago. There's always been these complaints about like the OGs and how they were early and have these stacks. Like that's just how things work. Like the people that got Zoom stock early on that paid a quarter, like the people that later on paid $125 per share weren't like, I can't stand those people. Like they only paid like 25 cents per share. Like that's just, those people were early. And I was going back and forth earlier with someone on X about the whale vault. And they said something to the tune of, well, I wish whale vault would just like list everything. And I'm thinking, this has been the best account ever on TopShot. They could have walked away with $15 million like 3-4 years ago if they sold their entire account. Do you know what they sold? Nothing. I don't think they've ever sold a moment. Ever. Right. And this person's like, what's a dormant account? Like, well, that's what you want for some of the stuff. You do want some real collectors that are like, I'm going to buy this stuff and then I'm just going to keep it. Right.
Right.
So yeah, shout out to the Whale Vault. Have you ever heard of them? Either of you, the Whale Vault?
Yeah. And you're right. And you know what else I've been thinking about is like Greatest Pirate Hunter gets a lot of hate, but is it deserved?
No. Of course not, dude. They could bid just like him.
Yeah. Right. I might even argue that he's good for the economy.
He is good.
Because he's forcing people to pay attention to their bids, step it up, and hey, maybe don't get lowballed. Like,
don't sell it to them.
Yeah, right.
What bothers me is the whiners, and it's like, you guys just don't sell it to them if you don't want to floor it. And when people complain about him and Guy, but those two together hold that market up. Does it suck when you're going against them? Yeah, but they hold that floor and that bidding up. Otherwise, legendaries will have like $80 offers.
Well, and I hope the same people that claim that TopShot's dead don't, on the other hand, complain about greatest pirate hunter, because that would be the dumbest thing ever, right?
Yeah,
like,
right.
What are we
and
talking
to be
about
fair,
here?
I don't think I've seen that, and I don't think a ton of people are screaming. I think a year ago or however long ago, 6 months ago, people were more upset, but I think people are starting to figure it out. But
the communication could be better.
Yeah, I wanted to get your take, and you can be brief or you can expand on it as much as you want, but there are a lot of opinions, mostly negative, about the new Ultimates. Do you have an opinion? Not really, no comment.
Have you seen that meme on Twitter where the guy has a noose around his neck and he says, "Oh, first time," and he looks at the other guy and the other guy's really scared? Have you seen that meme?
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about? It's a super popular meme.
Yeah.
Another guy's completely frightened. That's what I would say about this situation. Like, everyone's going crazy. Like, "Oh yeah, really? It's your first time, huh?" Like, it'll be okay. To answer your question, I don't think it's great that people collecting the scarcest stuff on the site have to like live in fear of dilution. But on the other hand, like, TopShot is in beta. Even stuff that they have told us has been like concretized or like marbled into the site has changed, right? So if I am spending big money on ultimate moments, I don't know, I would kind of be weary of that in the first place, kind of expect it. And if someone would then counter with, "What do you mean you'd expect it, bro? You'd expect them to lie to us?" I don't know. Did they ever say for sure that they would never make X amount of more ultimates? I guess what I'm getting at is that's why I've always liked the rookies, the actual rookie year moments, because they can't do that again. They can't slap a rookie year moment after the year. You can't do it. And that's why I also like the debuts. They can't add another debut. But yeah, I feel their pain. Sure. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think it's like as big of a deal as some of the upper echelon collectors are making it?
Well, man, I got to be careful how I even approach this, because I have like 4 legendaries. And so when I see like Cute Nick on X, super, super nice dude, he's upset. And so my initial is like, dude, it's fine. Like, it's just it's variety. It's a new tier. It to the cardboard brain I have, it makes sense. There's insane amounts of parallels of the exact same. I did a moment by moment of the LeBron Kobe tribute. There's like 40 parallels of that card. I get it. We're not in cardboard. So, man, I don't know. I really want to hear everybody's perspective, and like you said, like, I really want to like respect and be sensitive and like appreciate where these accounts, where Cute Nick is coming from, because he's got way more skin in the game than I do. But I think about like 5 years from now, I think we'll be okay, like with the addition of these ultimates. And in 5 years, probably some of those will have been burnt, because that's the way that TopShot is proving to go. Like, I have a Apollo legendary that I think 6 have already been burned, and it's from this year. So I don't know. Nicole?
I feel mixed on it as well. So I agree with your point about like 5 years down the road, because I think TopShot has a very bright future. And I think in 5 years, those would be great moments to own. But as someone who is collecting legendaries, I don't love to see 10. Like, for ultimates, I understand, because they made those rewards for the playoffs. So they have to make them out of 10. They can't make 1 of 1s, because then nobody would get the award for completing the set, right? So I understand their logic, but I don't want legendaries to get devalued because I've dropped a lot of money and I don't want them to become the new rare because ultimates have become the new legendary.
But like you said, we control the market, Nicole. So if he wants to buy those moments and other people want to buy those moments, and then it takes away from money that could have been spent on moments from prior seasons, and then we complain about the moments from prior seasons losing value, right? And now we're going to knock TopShot for making the newer moments. It's like, why did you buy the new expensive moments? Like, again, we control the market, like power. I don't know. Like TopShot's always going to have.
I want to point out too about the buyback. Like someone tweeted the other day about how somebody pulled ultimate in a pack from the buyback and should have just sold it back to TopShot. And that's the thing. Those buyback packs have different prices. So like if I pulled Tyrese Halliburton's ultimate, unless it's a number 1 or the perfect mint, I'm putting it down right here. I would be selling it back TopShot. I wouldn't even hit the floor. Sell it back. So like how many are going to ride around in packs?
How many what?
How many will be riding around in different packs because they keep getting sold back to TopShot?
Oh, I don't know. I was surprised that guy Coultin was that upset, quite frankly. Does he have a bunch of ultimates already? Again, why was he in such a rush to buy those ultimates when his earlier buys, the big money he spent, probably already haven't done so well? But it's not good to hear these whales complain, man. He has a voice. He doesn't have like some big Twitter account. But when someone says, hey, I've spent $500,000 on TopShot, listen to me, someone's going to say, okay, you've spent $500,000 on NBA TopShot. I'm all ears. What do you have to say? Yeah, that's better than a Patrick Mahomes generic tweet or something, which doesn't move the needle, which is why everybody came to TopShot in the first place, because everybody texted 12 different friends, this site's the bomb. Yeah. I got this LeBron James no-look three-pointer. Again, that's a $15K. That's a cool card. I wouldn't just say, oh, that's a $15K. Like, who cares? It's a comment. That's sick. How many people are going to shoot a no-look? Not exactly a no-look. You know what I'm talking about, right? The moment.
Yes.
But nobody would even do that besides him and Steph Curry in a regular season game. Right. No one would do that. They'd be scared they'd get benched. Anyway.
He has the ultimate. He has the Supernova set.
Yeah.
He's one of 2 or 3 people that have it. He's got the number 1 Steph, and they're locked. He's got it all locked. So, yeah, I don't even want to like begin to. He's got so much more money invested into TopShot than I will ever see. So
I'm just surprised that that's the deal breaker for him. He's like, I always thought TopShot was going to work out like until this. It's like, geez, where have you been the past 3 years? But I can understand. He also said that Tyrese Halliburton probably would never remember the play. He's going to remember that play. That was a sick play. That was a great game. His playoffs have been amazing.
The thing that I would say to, I don't know, for me, like if I'm a Knicks fan, I'm a Jazz fan. In a few years, when Cooper Flag is leading the Jazz to the finals and there's a Cooper Flag ultimate, I won't ever be able to afford it, but I promise I would try. And so I think accounts that collect across the board might maybe be forgetting that there's fans of teams and players that are always going to want those. There's completionists, my friend Hobbs, Jazz co-captain, yesterday he was so pumped because he completed the Jazz Rare set. Every Jazz Rare moment he now has. Damn. I still don't have them all. So
he has every single Jazz Rare moment on the whole site?
Yeah, like one of every Jazz Rare. He and I both are still missing the Hornacek, so we're not all-time set holders, but that's cool. So there's always going to be people like that for, I hope for every team. And so I don't know. I wonder if TopShot is just positioning themselves to be able to grow. people need to, I don't know, variety is good in that sense.
Do you think that they're convinced that these ultimates help gain new customers?
No, I don't think so. I don't know. What do you think?
Nicole, are you going to say something?
I don't know either. I'm thinking about it. I'm like, maybe because they put in the email and it's on the homepage and it's like what you could pull. Maybe they try to keep it because it's like the flashy new object. But I don't think it's what gets people specifically in. I think honestly, more community in real life stuff is what gets people in.
Well, also doing cool stuff that differentiates them from cardboard does get people in. And in cardboard, you can't sell back something to Panini for $7,000, right? You'd have to list it on eBay. Not that that's the hardest thing to do in the world. But to just kind of answer my own question, I thought about it as you two are answering. I think TopShot does think that this could move the needle a little bit. If enough people say, hey, there's this cool site where they have these pack drops, and on the first pack, if you don't like it, you can get your money back. And they have immediate offers that correlate to the pulls in the packs, right? Like I spent $14 myself and got a $15 offer back, which I thought was funny, but cool. Better than the 14 that I thought I was going to get.
Yeah. Right.
So like, the dynamic offers is like completely different. And I think that they are a tech company enough to know, like, okay, like our mission was to disrupt cardboard. And although they do have to defend themselves sometimes and be like, hey, buddy, that's what cardboard does. You know, they also know that they have to come up with some cool, like, bleeding edge tech, or at least just something different than people like that cardboard doesn't offer.
Well, that's what's cool about these playoffs, right? Like you get your reward, the mug or whatever, if you complete the common playoff set. Is it a basketball for the legendary?
Yeah.
And the
serialized
ring?
Basketball and a jersey for the rare, and a ring for the ultimate.
Yeah. I knew I had like
encrusted or something. Yeah.
But that's sick. Like, could you imagine though if you financially could complete the ultimate and you're like a ring with real diamonds in it and you're like, oh yeah, I completed a set on TopShot. Like people around you, well, maybe not my friends because they don't like basketball, but if I went to Summer League, y'all would be like, that is sick. And that in real life stuff to me is what gets people. Like I rock my all day gear. People are like, oh, I love NFL. All day I get it like on TV and I'm like, no. Sports cards. And I like give people rundowns all the time because it's the seeing the gear, seeing things on people in real life. They know it's tangible.
Yeah.
Well, I know this isn't an all-day podcast, but I like all day a lot. I think I touched on this my last time on the show. But again, I think those sell walls just like deter interest and demand. I know it does for me personally sometimes. I'll think like, oh, some Hall of Famer that was an idol of mine has an NFL all-day moment I'll see on Twitter or something. And then I'll go, and there's 50 moments for $1 each. And I just think, whatever. Like, it just, if no one else wants it, like why would I want it, kind of thing. What's my point? I think they need to burn down a lot of those Series 1 10,000 population count debuts.
They also used to really reward the historical sets. Like all the time there'd be pack drops rewarding historical, and now we don't see that, and I feel like that's part of it. I collected a historical just to get airdrops at one point because it seemed to be happening all the time. Same with the WNBA and TopShot. Before the Caitlin Clark effect, I always had WNBA set because they always seem to reward them. But there's no point.
Those moments, some people are going to make some money flipping those debuts that they've picked up over the past few months. When fast break comes around, there's definitely going to be a bounce. Like, especially if they do the pro run. Are they going to do pro for WNBA where they're going to require like challenge rewards sometimes and rookies sometimes? Yes. I'm pretty sure Diamond tweeted that they are doing a classic and pro. Wow. Yeah. So again, some flippers are going to do quite well, I think. And then, I don't know. The product's sick. That's one thing we all agree on. And I know it's not all about the price. I know it's not all about moonshots. I know being a profit maxi isn't cool. We're talking about collectibles. But if everyone always hears is how everyone just loses so much money on TopShot, then it's just like there's no buzz, there's no hype. That's one thing those packs were really good about back in the day. And I understand that people would complain like, hey, I didn't get one. This sucks. When I go to a card store, I can get packs, no problem.
Yeah.
But they created so much buzz.
Oh, yeah.
You'd be texting your friends like, dude, did you get a pack? Did you get a pack? Did you get one?
What's your place in line? What number are you in line?
Yeah, yes. What's your place in line? Yeah.
And maybe some people will drop out and you'll still get in. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they got off of that model. And I know some people will say like, bro, they can't just always provide plus EV opportunities. And I'm thinking, well, like, why not? Like shoes do it, meaning like if, Jordan sells out right away or a new PlayStation, people wait in the line, and then they'll sell them on the secondary. And then they'll say, well, Matt, this isn't shoes and these aren't PlayStations. I'm like, okay, but that's another conversation. You just said they can't provide the plus EV opportunities. Which one is it? You don't think they should because, hey, this ain't video games or shoes, or that it's like impossible from a business standpoint? I don't know. I thought those plus EV packs that had people going crazy were pretty cool and brought some good organic hype around TopShot.
Yeah. Well, I got to switch gears and ask you about, you've probably already gone over this in years past, but tell me about your journey as a Cavs fan real quick, because I want to get some predictions and some thoughts on the playoffs and stuff regarding the Cavs.
Sure. So I grew up watching the Cavs and the Cleveland State Vikings, by the way. Shout out to Cleveland State. They were a good, small D1 school when I was a kid, when I was 4 or 5 years old. I know you asked me about the Cavs. Let me get this out of the way just quickly. Yeah. Cleveland State went on a run, and I would go to their games, and they just started winning 20, 22 games a year in Division I. And they had this player, Mouse McFadden, Kenny the Mouse McFadden. He was amazing. The coach was Kevin Mackey. Long story short, they beat the Indiana Hoosiers in the tournament one year, and Cleveland was going crazy. And then the coach got in trouble for drugs, hardcore drugs, crack cocaine, and Kevin's career as a college coach was over. And then he was a scout for the Pacers for 20 years after. Larry Bird gave him a chance because he was such a great coach, and he stayed clean after that. My family was close with the Mackeys growing up. That was one reason I was infatuated with CSU. And the Cavs were good when I was young. Brad Daugherty was amazing. Mark Price, Craig Elo, Hot Rod Williams, Larry Nance. Larry Nance's kid's in the league now. And when I was a teenager, Terrell Brandon was a really good, underrated point guard. The Cavs were terrible back then. Who else do we have? Bobby Phils. Rest in peace, Bobby Phils, Tyrone Hill. So, yeah, my mom lives about 10, 15 minutes from downtown Cleveland, same house I grew up in. So, yeah, go Cavs. Hopefully we smash the Pacers. I know Garland's had a big toe issue. He missed games 3 and 4 against the Heat. But the Cavs get home court, so the championship runs through Cleveland. Let's go. You think
they can win it this year?
Hell yeah, they can win it, dude. Donovan Mitchell can get you 50 points in the playoffs. We can do it. But yeah, Cavs been a long time. I grew up listening to Joe Tate on the radio. So the one person that's watching this that knows who Joe Tate is, he's going to be like, damn, that really is Cleveland to the bone. He's talking about Joe Tate. But yeah, I've always been a big basketball fan. I was never any good. I played on some travel teams as a kid. I was a good football player. I just could never shoot well in basketball. But yeah, man, always loved the game.
Shout out Evan Mobley, Defensive Player of the Year.
Shout out Evan Mobley. Talk about a leap year. This dude's insane. Plus, he can hit threes. Unbelievable.
Yeah. And how I'm Googling this. How old is Evan Mobley? Because it's young.
He's young, and he does what you need in the NBA. The NBA is all about these wings. He's not a wing, but he can be. But it's all about these wings that can shoot and guard all 5 positions, and he can pretty much guard all 5 positions. Yeah. And that's why the Celtics are amazing. Derek White, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, these guys can guard pretty much everybody on the other team. And they can all shoot. That's what defense is these days. It's not these weak side shot block specialists like Jaren Jackson Jr. and Anthony Davis. That was all the hype a few years ago. Now it's, do you have 4 guys that can guard anybody? Right. So yeah. My point is Evan Mobley's pretty much one of those guys.
Yeah. He's 23. I think he turns 24 in June.
Does his brother still play for the Cavs? I don't know. I think his brother was on the Cavs too. A lot of brothers in the league these days.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. We got the Asar and Amen twins.
Lopez brothers, Ball brothers, the Holidays, the Mobleys.
Yep.
The Antetokounmpos.
The Currys.
Yep. The Currys, exactly.
Yeah,
pretty crazy.
We need a set on TopShot.
I think
they should do cool things like that. Just real quick, I don't know, stop me if we don't have too much time left, but I was just giving them credit for doing stuff that I had asked for last time. Like I was begging them to just run buybacks. They do one thing they still haven't done, which is just low-hanging fruit, like very juicy low-hanging fruit, is to run challenges for their cool stuff just out of the blue. Hey, we're running a challenge for triple-double cards again. And then everyone's like rushing to actually watch the moments and see like, oh, do I have any where someone actually had a triple-double? Because those moments matter. Or they'll just, let's say, run, or I would if I was in charge, run a challenge for 50-point moments, right? Like it's cool. You incentivize people to hold these cards that are actually a little bit more meaningful than, again, just some random layup. And they won't pump like crazy, but they'll pump a little bit, and they will give someone just enough hope or incentive to not just floor it next time. Or maybe they'll look at the card next time when they're going to sell it. You know what? I won't sell this. Dame had 61 this game. I'll hold on to this one, right? And then they all kind of rise together, the cooler moments, like the cream rises to the top. Just back to what we started the show with. There's a lot of cool comments that don't get any credit, but when you actually watch them, it's like, oh, this guy had like 55 points and 10 assists this game. Anyway.
Yeah. And I love that idea. And it could also give utility to some of the old historical moments.
Definitely.
Yes. And
the 86-87 set. I love that set.
Those cards are so sick, dude.
Yeah.
They're like from these like dim lit arenas from the date will be like 1988. But again, they just have like no luster, because even if you're not a profit maxi or all about the Benjis, when you see that the moment hasn't sold in 18 days, and the last time it sold, because TopShot does show the floaty offers that get accepted, and you'll see the last time it sold was for 18 cents. You're like, all right, do I want to be the only guy on planet Earth that cares to buy this? No one's bought it in 22 days, and the last guy paid 18 cents. Why am I going to be the only person in the whole world to spend $1 on it? I'm not. I'll just watch it, and then that's it. Whereas if you see there's one for $1, there's two for $2, there's, like those Series 1 floors still haven't completely taken off, but they're like some coiled springs. Like they could really bounce. You know what I mean? Like if TopShot started buying those with the buyback account, they probably won't, because then it would be obvious that things are kind of pumping. Whereas these rares, when they knock out a $6, $7, $8 rare and they leave it with a $9 floor that ends up getting undercut to $7 a week later, it's like they're not really getting high on their own supply. They're not really pumping the moments. No one can really say, you're pumping it all up. It's like, no, we're not. Like we raised the floor price by $2. Some of the moments they'll raise it a little bit more for the legendaries, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
If they hit Series 1, it would be like, oh, the Zubac debut is 40 now. That move, Nicole, back to what you were saying at the beginning of the show, you were saying some of the Series 1 stuff moved. That moved. You could get those for $1 or $2 over the summer. Now they're liquid at about 10 or 11.
Wow.
He's good. He's
good.
He always played.
5.
He's a good real center.
He's awesome.
Zubac.
Yeah.
There's not many like real centers, but he is one.
I hope
but
that.
You know what killed me?
What?
Sorry, Coultin, go for it.
I was just going to say that I hope that this Christmas we get another buyback, because I want to target some rares this summer and just stack them, because I went crazy. And I turned out, I bought a Lego. Like, that was so fun. But
that
anyways,
was really good.
Yeah.
That was such a good move on their end. No, I was just going to say about the legendary was Zubac, because he should have been in the Ascension set. At least I think he should have over the Holo. He got his first legendary and it's a Holo icon.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
That's
I feel
true.
like that's like kind of weird. Wasn't that set supposed to be like the first legendaries for the season?
I don't know. You're locked in. That's all I know. You are locked in, Banana Banking Mac, talking about whether the Zubac should have been in the Ascension set. I mean, I feel like I'm Mr. TopShot. I feel like I know everything. I have no idea what you're talking about. But no, I do. Of course,
Right.
I understand when you explain it. I just mean, like, I feel like I can answer any question on TopShot, but I don't follow, like, the new legendary sets. I should. I'm just not the guy that Coultin was saying earlier, oh, we always want the new shiny object. I'm the guy that was wrong, that always thought that Series 1 would just be like the ultimate grail. And if those didn't perform well, people wouldn't speculate on like the new dope stuff. But I just couldn't have been more wrong, right? Like there's just people that want to collect or are completionists, like you guys said, and they just say, hey, that's a cool moment. I want to buy that. They don't think like, well, that LeBron Holo from Series 1 is down infinite and that's no, they just buy what they want to buy. So I was wrong about that.
But there are collectors out there who do want to buy those, like Josh, inspired by Mamba. He loves his Series 1.
I like his strategy. If TopShot does work out and is around and is flourishing in 10 years, he's going to have an account that's worth, $2 million. You never know what can happen in the space. That's part of what makes it really fun. You know what I mean? So sometimes I'll say, well, you never know, X, Y, or Z could go back up. And then, no, it can't, you idiot. It's like, well, yeah, it can. We saw a Dogecoin go from being worthless to being $1 a coin and mentioned by the richest guy in the world on Saturday Night Live, right, Elon? Yeah. And it was all down from there, of course. That was the absolute peak. Not sure if you two remember that. You probably do. Yeah. Elon Musk went on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
Anyway, again, anything can happen in this space. I don't know what's going to be the genesis for TopShot to really kind of get going because although we all agree they've been a little bit more collector friendly, I know I have been a lot less toxic on X because I think they are trying. And I'm not just completely results oriented. It's not like, oh, number go down, I hate you. No, I would point out things where I thought their decision making was just terrible. But it's not just being results oriented. And if things are going sideways or down, that means you're making awful decisions. No, they're making good decisions now, at least in more cases than before. So props to them for that.
I've definitely noticed that about following you on X is you have really strong points when, with frustrations and concerns, but you also definitely share like what you think is positive and good. So it's just a lot easier to listen to people that share both.
You also critique it in the right manner too. Like that you come out there and you list what you think the problem is and everything, but you're not going psycho being like, I'm selling my account, like roasting Roham and all them. You come in.
I've never one time said I was going to quit. Ever. Yeah. I never said I was going to quit. I've never even listed a moment, which is fine to do. I mentioned this last show. I don't care if people list moments on Twitter and say this is up. I've never done that. I've never said, hey, buy this from me. I'm a flipper like crazy. I do have 4,000 moments, and those are not moments that since I was in early, I still have. I sold those things and then bought dips. Way too many dips. God, did I buy too many dips? I know I am digressing now, but Jesus Christ, did I buy too many dips? If somebody said to me, okay, Matt, you think you're such a TopShot genius, just tell me something that you were completely wrong about. And I'd say where I told people in certain cases, that moment's down 90%, so you should buy it. Well, that moment went down another 90%, right? The Luka 15K was $1,000 freaking dollars, right? It's 15K, which is a sick card, a sick pass. And when it went down to 100, hey, I think I bought a couple myself because it's 90% down. No, now it's $1. So it went down another 99% from there.
And you just got to ask yourself, should it have ever have been however much, $1,000,
Probably.
And the answer is
no. I mean,
right.
No. Yeah.
But that's nobody's fault.
Let me answer. The answer to your question is no. The answer to your question is an unambiguously no. With that said, Coultin, it's tough to answer that question at times. And if you played the crypto or NFT space like that, like you wouldn't be the biggest winner. Meaning, if you said to yourself, well, should a picture of a monkey that has 10,000 copies ever really be worth 10 grand? Well, those things ran up to 410 grand, right? And they're still somehow around, I don't know what, 30K, something like that, which is a lot. Surprisingly, some of the blue chip NFTs, I know they're crushed from their all-time highs, but some of them are still worth, those monkey pictures are still worth 25 grand a piece somehow. Yeah. But no, you're right. Obviously 1,000's a little much for a 15K common.
And I didn't mean that in the terms of like the product isn't worth that. Like just the supply, like never it couldn't have sustained it if they wanted to grow. But anyways, the one thing that I will say about the ultimate stuff, I wish that TopShot would have been more, and this is not breaking news, everyone will agree with this, but I wish that they could have given us more of a preview of what was coming before they just kind of slowly like unveiled it. Because what if the like I'm noticing now with the Brunson rares, they have different thumbnails, or not rare, like the Brunson, maybe the Tyrese does too. I don't think the Aaron Gordon did at first. Maybe I'm wrong, but even the thumbnails are different on these moments, like the Brunson, and that's cool. I mean, it's not like gonna satisfy.
I'm looking at it right now. Yep.
That's a cool touch, right? And I don't think that. I think even the Aaron Gordon wasn't like that. I'm correct. The Aaron Gordon was all the same. So perhaps some of this could have been kind of chilled out a little bit on if people had a more clear picture of what they were going to be getting. I don't know.
Do you think I'm crazy when I say that I think that having parallels for digital cards is like really dumb? And I think so because it's tough to tell sometimes. When you're looking at it, you have to tell whether it's your friend, your son. Oh, click here, then click there, then scroll, and you'll see that's how mine's different. I have the neon board. Oh, okay, yeah, now I do see those neon borders, right? You see if you're looking in the marketplace, right? But it's, again, you do have to click a few buttons sometimes. So do you think I'm nuts when I say that's really not the best to do for digital?
No, you're right. Although you're right, but I still think, like, even to this day, the commons, like there's 8,000, right? There's no harm in doing 4,000 of this parallel and 4,000 of this parallel, like for people that like to collect the parallels, as long as you're not introducing more, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but it gives like anti-NFTers like ammo for them to say, hey, what really is this here? Like, and it makes TopShot seem a little thirsty to push the product and sell it when it's like, buy this, buy this, buy this. And it's like, oh, well, that's the same play. And they're like, nope, you didn't watch until the end where it shows like that last angle.
Yeah, you're right. And we'll see. And to my point, they say these ultimates, legendaries, rares, and even commons are all going to look different, like different camera angles. The ultimates will be longer. You can see the ultimates are considered reels, where the others are, well, maybe not all of them. I saw on the live token when they were minted, the ultimates were minted as reels, where the others were minted as the play they were, like 3-pointer or dunk. So I do think that they're going to look different. Like the S1 parallels were dumb. Like the LeBron Kobe tribute is in 3 forms, I think. And they all, as you're watching the moment, they all look the same.
Yes.
I agree with you that's when I first got on board, I was like, wait, they're the same? That's a ripoff. Like, Why can't we have multiple, like different moments? But these, we'll see if they're how different they are. You know what I mean? Maybe people will think they're awesome.
Do we think part of the issue was that their announcement for playoffs was late?
Yes.
And that's part of the freak out? Because, to be fair, I'm not going for playoffs this year. But had I known there was some in real life rewards here, I might have saved some dapper and went for it. I'm not bothered by the playoffs and the parallels and the different tiers and stuff. I figure we're going to burn a lot. They seem to always go back and find a way to burn off the playoffs anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just my thoughts on it.
No, you're right. And I thought that I would, as soon as I saw that there was going to be a jersey for rare set completion, I was like, I'm all over that. Then I saw their announcement of how many rares they expected to drop for the set. And I was like, nope, I'm out on that. But this thing they're doing where they're introducing the moment, like when they happen, and it's predictable. I hope that it stays predictable, because I go on Floaty. I've got a whole bunch of JBs stacked. I've got, a bunch of Tatum stacked. I'm going to start stacking Jokic, because I burned 10 Aaron Gordons for the one Aaron Gordon playoff comment.
What did you burn? Just commons? What did you burn? Just commons?
Yeah. And most of which I got on Floaty for 40 cents. And so if tons of people are doing that, it's a wash how many moments are getting introduced. I mean, 10-1.
What was do they still do that thing? What was it called? Net negative or something? Do you remember John Boy Beats? Do you remember him? Mm-hmm. And when he was involved, I guess would be the word, with TopShot, he would go over, every month or so, how many moments they introduced. And with the burning, you know what I'm talking about, whether or not they introduced.
Right.
Did they? Okay, let me ask it this way. Do we have more moments now on TopShot than we had preseason, or less? I would assume more, right?
Yeah, for sure more. And it certainly depends on how many of these they're setting aside for people to burn for. But I burned 2 Brunson rares for 1 Brunson rare today. So, I don't know how many they set aside, but the 10-1, I mean.
That's cool. I think, the burning's great, man. I wish they would burn more. Nicole looks like she wants to say something.
I was just going to say that I don't care how many commons we end up with. When I hear you're burning 2 rares for 1, that's where I like it. I don't care about the floor of the commons. They can stay cheap to me, except for Series 1. I do understand that. But rest of them, like the base sets, oh well. But when rares and legendaries, we can burn them and keep their floors high. Like, to me, that's what matters. I want my rare to not be $7. I think that's gross. Rare should not be that cheap.
Okay, well, I don't want my Curry Ring Me common to only be $4, because that moment's amazing. That's when he got the title. That's got one of the sickest thumbnails, right? Yeah. And it's down to $4. So that's my counter to that. And back to what we were talking about earlier, some of those comments are cool cards. That's a cool moment. They could have made that a legendary. They didn't, right? But for a basketball fan, I'm not just going to think like, oh, that's not cool because TopShot calls it a common. Like, no, that's a sick moment. If any moment's sick, that's a cool moment.
Yeah.
I just more treat them as junk wax. Maybe I shouldn't, but it's kind of what I've done on my Collectin strategy. But I do get it. There's some sweet ones out there. No hate to all the commons, just some of them. Selective.
Sure, yeah.
Well, we've gone for an hour and 3 minutes, and we haven't even got to talk about the playoffs, really.
Yeah, I told you, it goes fast.
It goes too fast.
Maybe we need to have a part 2.
Part 2.
Let's do it.
You want to do another one
soon,
Matt?
Of course. Anytime.
I really quick want to hear what you guys are thinking for predictions. Matt, who do you think's what's your finals prediction?
Nothing exciting. OKC Boston probably. I want to say the Cavs, but they've disappointed me the past 2 playoffs. What happened? Last year we lost to Boston, I think, who won the title. Yeah. And the year before, I think we lost to the Knicks. Indiana's a tough team. That's who we're playing now. I think we're going to beat them. I hope Garland gets healthy. But again, if you made me bet right now, I would go the Boston OKC route, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Cleveland's going to beat Indiana in 5 games.
Hope so.
Yeah. I would bet on that.
Indiana's deep. That's a deep team, Pacers.
Yeah. Yeah, but the talent level is too I think, yeah, the Cavs are so stacked.
Cavs are deep too.
Yeah.
I've
And
Cavs
Donovan
OKC.
can go for 57 on any given Tuesday.
Say it again.
Donovan can go for 57 on any given Tuesday.
Yep. Our bench is strong. T.Y. Jerome's the man.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, he's playing awesome. It's cool to see him like getting good minutes, good road, like finally getting an opportunity and thriving. Because
he'll put up like 20 points in 20 minutes. Like it's nothing.
Yeah. Okay. Celtics. So you think Celtics can beat OKC, or do you think I can't decide on that?
Yeah, they can. They're the champs. Better believe it. Yes, they can.
Do you think they would?
Yeah.
Who'd you pick in the top shot?
I think they would. If Drew Holiday's healthy, they rested him against Orlando, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then what happens to the narrative around Jason Tatum, who will have 2? And then what if Jaylen Brown wins like a finals MVP again? What happens to him? Is he like a top 30 all-time guy all of a sudden? When like 2 years ago, we're like, Jaylen Brown sucks. Like they can never get it done together. And now he's going to be like, what, 2 finals MVPs? Obviously, if he's a far away from getting that, but it's possible, man.
Yeah, totally. Is that who you picked in the fast break championship prediction? Did you do that?
I did. I think I have Minnesota against OKC. And how do we look at that?
You can't. You have to.
Tab.
Yeah, it's on the fast break landing page.
And you'll see bracket challenge up in the top right.
Yep.
Where is it in the upper right? Oh yeah, let's see. I want to see how I did. I have I have the Celtics and the Timberwolves in the finals. Wow.
Very possible.
Okay. Let's see how I did round 1. I had the Thunder. Damn, I have the Rockets. That's not good. The Wolves, obviously, and I have the Nuggets, so I hope they win. I got out of line on this thing. I have the Nuggets beating the Thunder. Maybe I wanted it to be unique, but yeah, anyway.
Yeah.
I did that path too. I had the Magic taking out Boston. So.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I thought, you know what? I'm going to go original here. And if the Magic absolutely muck up the Celtics, everyone else's bracket is screwed and mine isn't.
Yeah, no, you're right.
It didn't age well, guys. It did not age well.
No.
I like the game theory behind it, though.
Yeah. Everyone's picking the Celtics.
He's so good.
So, yeah.
He's so good.
Yeah.
And they're young.
Yeah, they're going to be fun. They are fun.
What about you, Coultin? Who do you have again?
I have Celtics Thunder, and I have Celtics winning it, but I could see that being, I don't know. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I hope we get that finals.
No TopShot final set this year, huh?
Did they say that?
Yeah, I think so, right?
Wow.
I don't know.
I don't remember reading that, but if that's crazy, if so, the final.
I'm pretty sure there's no legendary final set for the first year.
It's kind of disappointing if your team's in it.
Yeah.
When we have the Raptors Jazz finals, we'll have to have a legendary set for that.
Yeah. Raptors Jazz. 2000.
The finals everybody wishes for, right?
Yeah. Well, all right, you guys. Let's do it again.
Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it. I saw your last one with Paulie had like 2,700 views. Damn.
Wild.
Paulie, yeah.
I was your number 1 for a while, and then Roham took my spot, and then Paulie crushed us both. How did he get so many views?
Dude, have you heard him speak? Everyone loves to listen to Paulie.
Yeah, I do like him, yeah. Everyone loves that East Coast accent, right?
Yeah, the extra Italian.
He's good.
Yeah, he's the man. Well, we'll pump this one. We'll get you back up top.
Yeah, we're on it.
There we go.
Thanks a ton. Appreciate you guys.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me.
Episode 99. Do it again soon.
That's a wrap.